In a world woven from whispers of starlight and the gentle hum of twilight, lived Elara. Her cottage, nestled deep within a velvet green valley, was a sanctuary of soft lamplight and quiet dreams. Each evening, as the sun dipped below the distant peaks, painting the sky in hues of lavender and rose, Elara would settle by her window. She loved to watch the first shy stars appear, like tiny secrets emerging from the deepening blue. One particular evening, as the night deepened, a single star, smaller and brighter than the rest, caught her eye. It shimmered with an unusual intensity, a playful dance in the cosmic ocean. Elara watched, enchanted, as it twinkled once, then twice, and then, with a delicate, almost imperceptible sigh, began to drift. Not fall, not plummet, but drift like a dandelion seed caught on a soft breeze, slowly, gracefully, downwards. It descended towards her valley, a tiny beacon in the immensity. Elara leaned closer, her breath held in gentle suspense. The star, no bigger than a firefly, finally settled in her garden, a soft, pulsating glow amidst the sleeping flowers. A wave of quiet wonder washed over her. It was not a crash, but a landing, as if the sky itself had entrusted her with a precious, fragile secret. A soft, undeniable curiosity stirred within her heart. Who would greet a fallen star? Who would understand its quiet plight? Elara felt a gentle pull, a silent invitation to adventure. She carefully donned her softest slippers and a warm shawl, her movements as quiet as the falling dew. The world outside her window, once just a familiar garden, now beckoned with the promise of a hushed, magical discovery. With a heart full of soft courage, she unlatched her garden door and stepped out into the luminous night. The air was cool and sweet, scented with night-blooming jasmine and damp earth. Following the faint, tender glow, Elara found the little star nestled amongst a cluster of sleepy lavender. It pulsed softly, a tiny heart of warmth in her cool garden. Gently, she reached out a finger, and the star, no heavier than a feather, warmed her touch. It seemed to whisper, not with words, but with a feeling, a yearning to return home. "You wish to go back?" Elara whispered, though she knew the star understood. Holding it carefully in her cupped hands, she looked up at the vast, star-peppered sky. It was too far for her to reach, but a quiet voice in her heart told her that if she carried it with kindness, a path would reveal itself. As if in agreement, the garden path before her began to shimmer, not with silver moonlight, but with a faint inner luminescence. The familiar cobblestones melted into a soft, mossy trail, winding deeper into what was usually a small copse of trees at the edge of her property. Now, however, the trees stretched taller, their ancient branches draped with luminous moss that glowed like forgotten emeralds. Fireflies, larger and more radiant than any Elara had ever seen, drifted lazily, their light sketching soft patterns in the air. Each step was a quiet marvel, a gentle unfolding of a world just beyond the veil of sleep. Further on, the path led to a whispering stream, its water flowing with a sound like distant chimes. Usually, she would cross it with a sturdy stone bridge, but tonight the bridge was gone, leaving only a few scattered stones, too far apart for a simple hop. The star in her hands pulsed a little faster, its warmth urging her onward. Elara understood. This was a gentle puzzle, a request for quiet thought. She looked around, her eyes adjusting to the soft, ethereal light. Nestled at the base of a particularly gnarled tree, she spotted a small pile of smooth, flat river stones, perfectly sized to fill the gaps. With care and patience, she picked up each one, placing them steadily across the stream. The water chuckled softly around them, and when the path was complete, the star in her hands pulsed with a gentle warmth of approval. A small challenge met with quiet care. Beyond the stream, the air grew slightly cooler, carrying the scent of pine and distant mountain mist. Perched on a branch, half hidden by luminous leaves, was a large, moss-covered owl. Its eyes, the color of ancient amber, were barely open. "Ooh, ghost there, with a heart so kind." It hooted softly, a sound like rustling leaves. Elara gently presented the star. "I carry a lost light," she whispered, "and seek its way home." The owl blinked slowly. "The highest peak," it murmured, its voice a soft rumble, "where the clouds kiss the earth and stars are born anew." It pointed a wing, not with a sharp gesture, but a slow, deliberate sweep towards a faint, shimmering peak in the distance. "The path is clear for those who carry warmth." Elara thanked the owl, feeling a surge of quiet encouragement. Even sleepy wisdom could light a path. As she continued, the path began to ascend, winding through groves of towering, silver-barked trees. Here, the air was filled with tiny, tinkling sounds, like miniature bells. Elara looked closely and saw them, hundreds of tiny, glowing sprites, no bigger than her thumb, caught in delicate tangles of moonbeams that had woven themselves into silvery nets between the trees. They fluttered helplessly, their tiny lights dimming with distress. The star in her hands pulsed with empathy. Elara carefully set it down on a patch of soft moss and began to work. Her fingers, usually nimble with knitting needles, now delicately untangled the intricate strands of moonlight, freeing one sprite after another. Each tiny creature, once released, burst into a cheerful, brighter glow, darting around her head in a silent dance of gratitude before joining the growing swarm of freed lights. With the last sprite freed, the air around Elara shimmered with 1,000 tiny lights. The sprites, as if by unspoken agreement, formed a shimmering escort, guiding her through the deepening mist towards the mountain. Their combined glow illuminated the path, making it easier to see, and their happy tinkling sounds filled the air with a gentle melody. Her journey was no longer solitary, it was a shared endeavor of kindness and quiet magic. Finally, the trees thinned, and she emerged into a clearing shrouded in a soft, luminescent mist. Before her, the mountain rose, not a jagged peak, but a gently sloped mound, its summit perpetually kissed by soft, ethereal clouds. The star in her hands pulsed with an almost frantic joy, its light growing stronger, warmer, eager to meet its celestial family. This was it, the heart of her journey, the place where earth met sky. Elara stood at the base of the misty slope, the star humming gently in her hands. She looked up. The clouds seemed to whisper their greetings, stretching down as if in welcome. But how to send it home? The star needed to fly. The sprites, seeing her thoughtful gaze, clustered around her, their tiny lights weaving patterns of encouragement. From the forest edge, the sleepy owl's soft hoot echoed, a sound of understanding. Elara felt a wave of profound connection, a shared intention. She gently lifted the star, holding it high towards the misty summit. A deep breath, a quiet wish, a shared thought of home from all the tiny, glowing friends around her. And then, with a soft, almost imperceptible push from her outstretched hands, the little star began to rise. Slowly at first, Then with growing grace, it floated upwards, leaving a shimmering trail of soft, golden light in its wake. Up and up it soared, a tiny messenger of hope, until it reached the swirling mists, piercing through them to join its family in the vast waiting sky. A single bright twinkle from above seemed to acknowledge its return, a silent thank you carried on the night breeze. A profound sense of warmth spread through Elara's heart, filling her with a quiet joy. She had helped a lost light find its way, and in doing so, had found a deeper connection to the gentle magic of the world. The sprites danced a final, joyful pattern around her, then began to disperse, their lights fading gently as they returned to their hidden nooks. The sleepy owl gave one last, contented hoot from the distance. Elara stood for a moment longer, soaking in the peace, before turning to begin her gentle journey home. The ascending path now felt like a soft descent, each step bringing her closer to the comforting familiarity of her cottage. The mossy trail slowly transformed back into her familiar garden path, the luminous leaves and fireflies replaced by the comforting shadows of her own sleeping plants. The whispering stream, now crossed easily by the stones she had placed, returned to its usual murmur. Her garden, however, felt subtly different, imbued with a soft, lingering magic, as if the stars themselves had brushed its edges. She reached her cottage door, the soft lamplight inside a warm invitation. Slipping quietly back into her room, she glanced out the window one last time. There, in the vast tapestry of night, twinkled her little star, brighter and steadier than before, a silent testament to a journey of kindness. The night felt safe, secure, and wonderfully magical. Elara climbed into her bed, the soft sheets cool and welcoming. The gentle warmth of the star still seemed to linger on her fingertips, a whisper of its gratitude. She closed her eyes, the images of luminous forests, chattering sprites, and a sky-bound star drifting through her mind like soft clouds. The world, both familiar and magical, was at peace. And with a heart full of quiet contentment, Elara drifted into the deepest, most comforting sleep, knowing that even the smallest acts of kindness can light up the entire cosmos.